morning, everyone, and welcome to our second symposium on systems integration and interoperability. And for those of you who were able to join us for the first symposium in May, welcome back. I feel a little bit like we're back in school after summer vacation. And it's great to see everyone that we saw in May and a bunch of new faces. So glad you're here and looking forward to the work that we're going to do over the next couple of days. And make no mistake, there's plenty of work to do. So I think many of you know that personally I spent the better part of my summer renovating one of my bathrooms. And it's not necessarily a glamorous thing at all, but it did give me plenty of time to think and reflect and to noodle over the work that we've been doing while I was watching paint and thin set dry. And what would a summer vacation be without a reading list? So how many people read a book over the summer? Ah, good. So the book that I read focused on wildly successful initiatives. The author, Dr. Jane Linder, is a widely published author on management and leadership in business. And I had the good fortune to meet Dr. Linder just slightly before our last symposium. And you know those kind of encounters that you come away with and you think, well, that's kind of what I expected, but then 2 months later, it turns out to have been something completely different. You know, it was one of those kinds of encounters that seemed ordinary at the beginning, but then it turned into something completely different. So Dr. Linder is the managing director and principal owner of a company called NWN Technology. And those of you who are technologists in the audience may recognize NWN, the name NWN, but you may also recognize that they bought a local technology company, a shining star called Western Blue. So Dr. Linder is the CEO of that company. So the pretense under which I met Dr. Linder was technology. And so that's kind of what I was expecting out of our encounter. I was expecting kind of a, here's what NWN can do for you sort of pitch. And, they wanted to know a little bit about what our initiatives were so they can maybe tailor their offering to us a little bit more effectively. And so that was my expectation. She never once mentioned, not once did she mention that she's been a professor at Harvard Business School, has written for the Harvard Business Review and MIT's Sloan Management Review and others, and has written not just one book, but several books. So shortly after our meeting, she sends me a copy of this book called Spiral Up. I don't know, has anybody read that? Oh, one person, Vernon, has. And it's the name of the book is Spiral Up and Other Management Secrets Behind Wildly Successful Initiatives. And so I thought, cool, maybe I'll find out some tips and tricks for how we could be wildly successful in our initiative. So I was a little distracted with the bathroom for a little while, but I finally got around to reading the book. And what I did find was something that I did not expect at all. So in addition to that interesting encounter I'd had with Dr. Linder, I found something else that I did not expect. And what I found was that we, the collective we here, right this minute, are actually doing all the things that characterize wildly successful initiatives right now. So what are those things? One of those things is we are reaching way beyond our grasp. Way beyond our grasp, and we're not settling for something that we know can be done. We're making a difference by stretching because that's the only way to accomplish things that we would have all considered impossible 6 months ago. The second thing that we're doing is making space. I'm going to put that in air quotes. And what that means is that we are allowing our initiative to grow and change in unpredictable ways. So we're making space for those changes. And that's what's going to take us beyond the predictable. That's what's going to take us beyond what we thought we could grasp. We're also finding the right answers to the toughest questions. We're not settling for the run-of-the-mill questions and the run-of-the-mill answers. We're looking for things that are new and different. We're energizing people. That's part of what you're here for today. We're creating an emotional intensity that draws people together. And we're not doing the same things the same ways and expecting a different kind of result. We are not that kind of crazy. We're recruiting people to this effort who want to take on something new that they've never done before, and it's personal. It's personal for each and every one of you out there. And then the last thing that we're doing is we're spiraling up. We're not declaring victory for the gains that we make. We're using each of those victories as a plateau, as a stepping stone toward the next peak. So I was surprised and amazed and proud and excited when I thought about, I'm in my bathroom, thought about all of the things that we have accomplished over the summer. It is truly amazing at all of the things that we've been able to achieve. So I want you to think about these characteristics as we go through the next couple of days. And we are not dreaming. You can pinch yourself, you can pinch the person next to you. We're not dreaming, we're actually getting this stuff done. So together we're creating that force that makes us unstoppable. And I want you to keep that with you over the next couple of days. We are unstoppable as a force, as a collection of people working toward interoperability.